Hi, today I'm going to review the 2012 comedy Ted. So the plot of this movie is where this guy named John Bennett, played by Mark Wahlberg, lives with his teddy bear Ted, played by Seth MacFarlane, because when he was a kid, he got Ted for Christmas and wished that he was alive, and his wish came true. And they live together and they become best friends, and they just do a bunch of crazy things, just sit around, slack off, watch movies, smoke weed, all that kind of stuff. And John has a girlfriend named Lori, played by Mila Kunis, and she wants to be with John but thinks his friendship with Ted is weird, so he tells John to get rid of Ted, and so Ted and John kind of have to find out like what to do, and John has to figure out, does he he want to be friends with Ted forever or just want to stay with Lori. So it's kind of a not really a love triangle. Ted's not in love with Lori, but you get the picture. This was a good comedy. I enjoyed it. This not only is Ted voiced by Seth MacFarlane. Seth MacFarlane actually wrote and directed this movie, which makes sense because it definitely feels like a live action Family Guy movie. And if you love Family Guy, you'll definitely like this movie. It kind of has some of his sense of humor. Like, there's a lot of pop culture references and a few cutaway gags and some gross out humor. Like, there's a part where, like, Lori finds, like, a turd in the apartment, and, like, some of the jokes land, some of them don't, but some of them are actually quite funny. Like, there's this one part where like Ted and John where they argue and like Ted keeps beating him up think because he's like, I wish I had a Teddy Ruxpin, and then they both feel guilty of fighting each other. And I guess some of the risque jokes are kind of funny, like when Ted's drawing Garfield on a topless girl. Like, it was like, it's one of those things, like, it's so bizarre, like you just have to laugh at it. It has kind of Family Guy style humor, and the performances are really good, actually. Mark Wahlberg, he actually does feel like he's talking to a teddy bear, even though, as weird as it sounds, his interactions with Ted are really amusing. And the CGI on Ted is actually really good. Like, he really looks like he's there. I don't know if it was or I don't know if this was an animatronic or if it was CGI, but regardless, like, it looks really good. And they do have good chemistry with each other, and they're, of course, kind of the goofy comedy duo you see in a lot of comedy films. Mila Kunis, literally one of the most attractive actresses of all time. She's always great to see, and yeah, she's great in this movie. And Patrick Warburton appears at one point, because obviously because he's the voice of Joe Swanson. You gotta love when Patrick Warburton's and stuff. And Ryan Reynolds even makes an appearance. I'm not kidding. I was surprised to see him there, and it does have some heart to it, which, as weird as it sounds, because this is a movie written and directed by Seth MacFarlane, but like, there's some heart to it, especially considering that it's about a guy and his teddy bear. But you really kind of buy their relationship, and John, he's kind of a lonely. You understand because John started off as a lonely child, but he's friends with Ted because he grew up with him, and he's the closest thing to a friend he had in all of his life. Though it is kind of weird that he's making a hard choice whether to give up Ted and be with Lori, or just be with Ted. Because really, if your girlfriend was Mila Kunis, I think you would give up your teddy bear. But regardless, yeah, Ted's a funny movie. If you haven't seen it, if you're a fan of Seth MacFarlane's style of humor, I think it translates well to a live action movie, and I think it's worth a view. It's not very long, it's only like an hour and 38 minutes or so, but if you just want some laughs for a movie night while you're stuck at home, I think it's worth a view. So that's my review of Ted. I'll see you when I make the next video.